So today I was going through my client metrics and I realized something actually that I wasn't expecting. And when I looked at all my clients, I graphed it all out in my dashboard. I saw that the 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 real difference maker between those who make really good money and those who are average is actually doesn't really have anything to do with me as the ad manager. And that's what I want to talk about today when I get into the four core metrics I identified. As the ad manager, really, I'm doing two things. I'm getting you qualified leads. I'm trying to attract qualified leads to your offer, and I'm getting them at a reasonable price. But since I do that for all my clients, right, they're all within a reasonable price range for their leads costs. I'm not actually the differentiating factor. And so, what I want to discuss is that these four metrics include A, the average order value or the average sale price or whatever you want to call it for the offers, which is obviously in the hands of the client what they want to charge and what level of customer they're trying to serve. B, the gross margin they get, what they keep on that sale, which is also in their control. They get to decide what their cost structure looks like. The cost of fulfillment, cost of goods sold, um, and how that relates to their price. And C is their close rate. And obviously, I already mentioned D, which is the cost per lead. But with the close rate, that's completely in their hands, and that's decided by them and their skill in sales as the owner, along with any of their staff that they have, communicating with these leads. um, that's not on me as the advertiser, right? So once I realized, like, wow, wait a minute, it's not necessarily me that's deciding what kind of ROI they get on these ads. Um, I can get you the leads, I can get you the quality leads. That's on me to get those in at a decent price and at a good volume. But the ultimate fate, which can range wildly, of the success or failure of this campaign is really up to the owner's ability to close. And there's different factors that play into that. But essentially, if the owner sucks as a closer, it could cost them 10, 20 times more with the same offer and the same ad manager than the next guy who's a rock star closer. And it's really just about your ability to work qualified leads well. And some of that is even possibly out of the owner's direct control, because when you think about things like competition level, um, price sensitivity of your market or your offers, there's a lot of things that can affect that close rate, but essentially it's not something I can control. Um, and my conclusion is, after seeing all this, is that if you're a business owner, outside of getting a quality ads manager and making sure your offers are priced well and you keeping your costs under control, the biggest thing you can do to improve your ad your advertising ROI is actually to get sales training for yourself and your staff, right? Whoever's client facing and working these leads. Sales training, getting your practice in, getting your reps in, role playing, that is actually going to be the way you make or break the eventual ROI of these campaigns. And that was of these campaigns. And that really shocked me because I'm thinking, well, isn't it cost per lead? No, because close rates, they could vary wildly. Maybe one guy's getting a 5% close rate and another guy's getting a 50% close rate. And that's a 10x difference, right? Even if they get the same amount of leads and they have the same ad managers and they're getting the same cost per lead, if you can't close them, then it's all for nothing. So that shocked me. I wanted to share that with you guys because it's counterintuitive And again, it's just another example of things uh, that are outside of your actual ad manager's control, right? I mentioned in my earlier Alex Hermosi video on the two metrics he watches for business health, which is the LGTP, long term gross profit to CAC ratio, and I think it was also his gross margin target. He targeted a 3.0 LTGP to CAC ratio, and I believe it was an 80% gross margin that were his targets for sustainable business. And again, I'm here to tell you close rate. You need, obviously, you can look up like your average industry benchmark for your close rate, on ChatGPT or Gemini or something. But if you're below the industry benchmark for close rates, that tells you you have a problem. And it's a problem costing you likely five figures or more, right? It's an expensive problem. It's something you need to handle ASAP today. And so I wanted you guys to know that. Hopefully that helps you business owners out, give you some clarity. Because the immediate um, response when ads don't work is to normally business, oh, advertising doesn't work or marketing doesn't work or my advertiser sucks and da 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 da. When really, as advertisers, if we actually looked and compared our successful clients to our unsuccessful clients, it probably going to be very glaring. The difference is that, yeah, our rock star clients, they just have great close rates, and that can be due to anything from just them being in a niche, right? A specialized niche where there's not a lot of competition. And low close rates can come from multiple things. Maybe your pricing is too high so that you've priced out most people from the market. It could also be you just have a very generic offer. You don't differentiate yourself to make it clear why people should choose you over your competitors. Um, you could have a confusing offer or just a not compelling offer. Maybe you're targeting the wrong pain points, or there's just no real organic demand for your service. Um, it could be a reputational thing, low reviews on Google, low ratings. But whatever it is, the close rate from what I can see, I mean, it's easy to change your price, right? If you decide, hey, I want to go up market and target the top 10%, I'm going to 5x my price. That's more psychologically difficult than it is in reality, right? Which also, by the way, will help your gross profit margin. Even if you have to pay more to hire better staff or get better equipment or whatever suppliers to support those higher prices, that's not gonna be the end of the world. But that close rate, that is where the work is done. Because if you've got these leads pouring in, and then people who have a need for your thing, and they're in your service area, or they can afford it, um, you basically got a leak in your bucket that you need to plug quick, and that means you need to start training and fixing your close rate. So I hope that helps you out, guys. Some of you, I'm sure, are in this same boat. Um, Honestly, the majority of my clients look like they need help in this area. And of course, some things are just out of your hands, but you might as well try your best to improve what you can so that at least the the lack of ideal performance isn't on you. So take care, guys. Good luck. And thanks for listening. Make sure you like and subscribe. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Take care.